Welcome to another episode of the Everything College Basketball Podcast, your home for the latest news and analysis from the world of college hoops. Back again are your hosts, Josh Burton, Phil Dexter, and Corey Gardner.
What is up, you guys? Welcome to another edition of the Everything College Basketball Podcast, episode 113. I'm, of course, your host, Josh Burton, and joining me yet again is my teammate, Phil Dexter. Phil, what is up?
Hey, what's going on, man? Happy to be here again.
Dude, we got a big one. I'm sure everybody, as we're live on the Facebook group, Twitter, and the YouTube page. And if you're watching along with us live now, you can see our special guest. We've promoted all week. We'll get to him in just a second. But before we get into anything else, we got to thank our sponsors from Beauty to Beast Nutrition, located in Edinburgh, Indiana. Juice Bar has healthy drinks as protein shakes, healthy teas, coffees, everything you want for your nutrition needs, all in one location located in beautiful downtown Edinburgh. Stop in, tell Natasha ACB sent you for 10% off your entire purchase. But no further, let's get into it. Our special guest joining us, he is a super senior guard from the Wake Forest Demon Deacons and was just named with him and his newly acquired backcourt mate, Tyree Appleby, the 25th best backcourt in America from our friends at Field of 68. Welcome to the show, Mr. Daivien Williamson. Daivien, how are you doing tonight, my friend?
Yes, sir. So I'm happy to be here, and I appreciate you guys having me. I'm good. I hope you guys are too.
Dude, we are happy to have you. I'm going to lead off with that, though. I don't know if you were aware of it or not. Our friends at the Field of 68 have been releasing the top 25 backcourts in America. They have you and the newly acquired from Florida, Tyree Appleby, as you two as the 25th best backcourt in America. I'm sure as a competitor, you've got to think there's no way 24 backcourts are better than us.
Oh, yeah, definitely. When I seen it, it was cool to be on there because Field of 68, they got a real good pool. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people know about them, but I talked to Ty about it. I think we should be a lot higher than 25. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, and both of you, before Phil, I'll let you hop in, but both of you are experienced guards. Tyree had a good career at Cleveland State, just left Florida, had a double-digit score there. Have you had the opportunity in this short amount of time since he transferred in, have you had the opportunity to try to form that bond with him yet?
Yeah, he's actually my roommate. He's upstairs right now. We stay together. We've worked out a lot since he's been here this summer in practice and just even on our own time together. So I'm really excited to play with him. Like you said, he's an experienced guard. He's one of the few guys on our team who's played in the NCAA tournament. So that experience is going to be big in big-time games, and I'm excited to play with him this season.
Well, Josh touched on your experience some, but, with 83 career starts to your belt, how much confidence does that give you when you step on the court going against some of these guys, maybe freshmen, sophomores, haven't started a game? What is that mentality like?
It definitely gives me a lot of confidence. I rely on my experience. My career in college has been outstanding. You know what I'm saying? From ETSU to Wake Forest, I've learned a lot. I've won a lot of games. And I just feel like that experience gives you an edge on some of those younger guys, even though they may be a little bit more talented, or you may have 4 or 5 stars or whatever the case may be. But I think that experience gives you a little bit of an edge over those younger guys.
Daivien, I know you just mentioned ETSU, which is going to be my next question. You committed and played at ETSU for a couple of years. Then you follow your coach, Steve Forbes, over to Wake Forest. You're a Winston-Salem guy. So was it a combination of going back home to play for Wake and play for Coach Forbes? Was it kind of like the perfect blend going back home? And what is it about Coach Forbes that you love playing for?
Yeah, it was definitely the perfect blend, especially during times of COVID. There was a lot of uncertainty going on as far as like just health and safety issues and things of that nature. So going home was just the safest option for me, especially during that time. And then playing for Coach Forbes, it's been fun. It's been really fun. Like one of the main things I like about Forbes is just the offensive freedom that he gives his players and the confidence he instills in us. I mean, sometimes Forbes he gets mad at me for not shooting the ball enough. I'm not going to lie to you. So yeah, you can tell he ain't gonna have none of those issues this year, though. I'm gonna let you know that. But that confidence to have a coach, just believes in you that much, it allows you to play freely, and it just allows you to play at the highest level that you can play at.
I mean, that's a lot better than the coach telling you, "Hey, don't shoot, Don't shoot at all.
Exactly.
Yeah. You want that green light. Phil, I know you got something for him.
Yeah. So no more going on that, having the green light this year. How different is your mentality with Alondes Williams gone, and sort of stepping in as, the senior member of that backcourt? Do you feel like you have it on your back to take over a little bit more?
I would say so. Definitely more of a scorer's mentality. I mean, I played with the ACC Player of the Year and then the 19th pick in the draft last year. So, I mean, I definitely defer to those guys a lot because I think we all can agree that when those guys were playing well, Wake Forest was doing well. So, I mean, I care a lot about winning more than my individual stats. But yeah, this year I will be taking like more of a scorer and leadership role. I've talked to Forbes about that a lot. So, I feel like it's time for me to step into that role now.
And you mentioned Jake LaRavia being the 19th pick in the draft. I know you tested the draft waters a little bit after the season. Did you get the opportunity to work out for any teams or anything like that? Or what was that experience like for you?
With me and my agent and I, we got a lot of feedback from some NBA scouts and things of that nature. I actually got really sick during that time, so I couldn't work out like I wanted to. So I just had to take the feedback from a lot of these scouts that my agent was telling me about. So that was really it.
Daivien, as you can see, I just pulled up on the chat here. People are loving having you on. I know people are excited. But you touched on something just a little bit ago about when Alondes and company, the older guys, were rolling, that Wake was really good last year. And as you were, I want to ask you something. Last year at home, you guys put a beat down on North Carolina. I mean, you put a flat whooping on them, but then to see them, you guys end up missing out on the tournament. A 25-win team misses out on the tournament, and they get in. Some at one point, we even talked about late in the year that we weren't sure that they were even a tournament team. Then they make a magical run and come within a shot of winning the title. How does that make you feel, knowing that you guys beat this team and then they end up getting in the tournament and make a run like that?
Actually, I think it showed how good we were last year at times. But I'm gonna be honest with you, the North Carolina team we played in January was a totally different team that was in the tournament. I'm not gonna lie to you. They turned it up a whole lot of notches once the tournament hit. But it definitely made us feel good about like where we could have been. You know what I'm saying? If we just would have won a couple more games, because I feel like if we would have went to the tournament, we could have made a lot of noise, something similar to what UNC did. But it just kind of didn't work out like that. But that was also a big reason why I came back for another year, is because I still haven't been to the tournament. I feel like I've been robbed of that opportunity twice now, and I just want to make sure that don't happen again.
Well, you mentioned Tyree having tournament experiences a few years ago with Florida and beyond. What has he shared with you about what NCAA tournament life is like?
Yeah, we kind of talked about it because he went during the COVID year, and I remember they played Virginia Tech. And I remember watching that game before I even knew Tyree. So I remember watching that game, and he was just telling me about the experience, how playing the NCAA tournaments and once in a lifetime experience. And I knew that. I mean, from been watching the tournaments since I was a kid. So, I mean, going to it this year, I'm just going and speaking to you. Since it's now going to the tournament this year, it's definitely going to be a dream come true. And I believe we can make a lot of noise with this team we got now.
I completely agree with that. Phil?
Well, and how much extra motivation is it, considering you sort of mentioned you were robbed of 2 tournament opportunities? You were on that ETSU team that went 30-4 in the COVID season, and then last year not making it. Is it that extra motivation this year to really make sure you guys leave no doubt and make sure that there's absolutely no way they can leave you out?
Oh, yeah, that's definitely extra motivation. Like I just said, that's a big reason why I came back for another year, because like I said, I feel like I've been robbed of that opportunity twice. First time from COVID, and the second time from, I guess you could say, the NCAA selection committee. So I just feel like this is the year that, you know what I'm saying, we got to leave no doubt. You know what I'm saying? They just know that, like, Wake Forest is going to be in the tournament this year. So that was definitely a lot of motivation and a lot of reason why I came back for another year.
I respect the fact that you're so out there and put out there confident. We're very confident people, and I respect people who are like that. You got to see it to believe it, that whole deal. I want to ask you real quick about the NIL, how it's changed. And I'm not asking about any deals because that's none of my business, but I want to ask about how you and your teammates have reacted to now the ability to make money off of your namesake and likeness if you have the ability to. Just kind of talk us through, if you can, how NIL has kind of changed the dynamic of college basketball from your perspective.
I think it's good because I think it's a lot of guys who may have. I think it's made college basketball a little bit more competitive because I mean you see guys like, for example, like Caleb Love. You was talking about UNC. I feel like he had, after how he played in the NCAA tournament, I feel like he had the opportunity to go to the NBA. But I think NIL had a lot to do with him coming back for another year, being able to make money. He's a famous guy, you know what I'm saying? Everyone knows Caleb Love now. So, I mean, I think it's made college basketball a lot more competitive. I think it's something that the NCAA should have done a long time ago, in my opinion. But I think it's good for college basketball. Like I said, it'll make it a lot more competitive, considering guys like may stay another year at college just for a simple fact that they can get paid instead of going to the NBA.
No, we've spoken on that for years now, about how the NCAA needs to. I mean, you guys are generating millions of dollars for the universities, for NCAA, and we've felt for a long time that you guys deserve that, and to finally see it happen. And you mentioned it too. When's the last time we've had the National Player of the Year and like Oscar Tshiebwe's back for Kentucky this year?
I was actually gonna mention that as well. Like a guy like him too definitely could have, you know what I'm saying, with the professional route. But I know he came back for the simple fact of NIL. So the competitive nature of college basketball is definitely like raised up a notch.
And that's beautiful, because we mentioned that anytime you get Oscar and Caleb Love and Armando Bacot and yourself and people like you guys back, how's that a bad thing for college basketball? I don't understand these people that are like, oh, well, it's about academics. I'm sorry, it's not about academics. It's a job. It's a job. Academics, yes, you want to graduate and get your degree if possible, but it's not like you can't come back. You don't see people faulting golfers, swimmers, whoever leaving college early. But sometimes when the basketball, football players leave, it's a bad thing. Give me a break on that. Give me a break.
Yeah, I agree with you a lot on that.
Yeah, give me a break. Phil, you got something else?
Nah, man, shoot away.
Well, hey, you mentioned the COVID year. I've always been curious because I felt that was robbed us of a potentially great tournament. You look at Dayton had a great year and got screwed. Kentucky, Kansas, a lot of teams had an opportunity. You were at East Tennessee for them. How devastating was that COVID year to everybody, knowing that they canceled the tournament, the fear, everything, the nation, the world was basically in a lockdown and in fear. If you could talk us through being a D1 athlete at the time, kind of some of the procedures and your thought process during that time.
Yeah, it was tough. I'm not gonna lie. We was riding on cloud nine. We had just won the SoCon championship. We were at our
shout out SoCon.
Yes, sir.
We love the SoCon, bro. We love the SoCon.
Oh yeah, SoCon is really good hoops, man. SoCon is really good hoops. Yeah. But yeah, our confidence was at an all-time high. You know what I'm saying? We was excited to go to the tournament. I mean, a lot of people had projected us to go to like the Sweet 16 or better. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we had the type of team that we could make some noise like that. But it was scary, man. I remember they was canceling NBA games like right before it started. They went ahead and shut down the whole NBA season. So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of seen it coming. I kind of knew they was gonna cancel the NCAA tournament once they entered the NBA season, but it still hurt. It hurt a lot. They had ended school too, so I was already actually back in Winston when that happened. So yeah, it hurt, man. It was a tough time, but not even just basketball, like just safety in general. Like I stayed in the house, I quarantined like to the full. I stayed in my room. I ain't want no parts of going outside at all, man. It was definitely a scary time, but I'm glad we got through that.
And then, firstly, that first year back, when you finally were able to pick back up, there's still no crowds. How awkward is that?
That was weird. It felt like the first couple games, it just felt like practice. Like, just felt like I was at practice, playing with no crowds, and then you had like the fake crowd noise, but it was loud. But it ain't nothing like the real people being there. So it was definitely weird.
No, and they say. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say it was a lot of uncertainty in the year too. Like you can just never know. Like you could just like getting prepared for a game and then shoot around. You just find out like somebody had tested positive and then you just gotta go home. So it was just a lot of uncertainty during that season too.
Yeah, and that must have been wild. You're preparing all week for a game, and then all of a sudden one person gets sick and it cancels the whole game.
Definitely, yeah.
And the other thing on the COVID issue too is you always hear about the crowd being the sixth man, because we know that a home crowd can really elevate a team, either to blow a team out or maybe make a comeback or not. That's why I thought we saw a lot of upsets when people losing at home that normally don't, because like you mentioned, it's kind of just like a glorified practice, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, Dave, we appreciate your time, but before we get out of here, I want to look into the future. You've already mentioned you're putting it out in the atmosphere. You're putting it out there. We love that. So I want you to go on record right here. What does a perfect year as a super senior playing for your home city school look like before you leave Wake Forest this year?
The perfect year. I got a lot of big goals for myself and for my team. I feel like I said, go to the tournament, win games in the tournament. I want to go far. You know what I'm saying? It's my last year. I want to make the most of it. Sweet 16 type of team. You know what I'm saying? Or better. Whatever God got planned for my team and myself. And just go as far as we can go. Reach our full potential as a squad, and then next year, hopefully, go to professional routes and just have a great professional career and take it from there, man.
Man, I have no doubt that you, like I said, you're a very confident guy. I have no doubt that you're going to achieve those goals that you want. Especially, dude, we'll be rooting for you wherever you play professional basketball at. I'm so excited for you. I'm happy you came on. Before you get out of here, go and plug your socials and anything else you got going on.
My Instagram is just my name, Daivien with an underscore. My Twitter is Daivien Will 22, and my Facebook is just my name, Daivien Williamson. If you want to add me on there too.
Well, go drop the man a follow. He is going to lead Wake Forest to hopefully an ACC crown this year. Finally, get this man in the NCAA tournament. He deserves it. Right. COVID screwed him in it. He deserves it before he leaves Wake Forest. It's been a while since Wake's been back, so hopefully him and his running mates will be the ones that get him back. Daivien, it's a pleasure. It's been an honor to talk to you for a few minutes today, and you have an open invite to come back anytime, my man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys having me, man. I had a lot of fun today.
Yeah, it was our pleasure. Guys, let's give a round of applause for Daivien Williamson. Oh, man.
Best of luck to you, my man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Phil, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome, man. I mean, having one of the best guards in the country and somebody, like you said, just super confident, obviously ready to go for this season, ready to, make it to that NCAA tournament. Yeah, that was great stuff.
Dude, he's such a positive guy. It was hard not to smile when he was talking. He's like, I'm just going to put it in the atmosphere. He's like, we're going to make the tournament. I'm going to play pro ball. We've got a sweet – and they do, man. To be completely real with you, they've got a really good chance of not only making the tournament but make some noise. Him and Appleby's dangerous in that backcourt.
Absolutely. And like he said, it wasn't even just missing the tournament last year. It was that 30-4 ETSU team that he was on. They're a mid-major team. They're probably not going to make a Final Four championship type of run, but still, that was a really good mid-major team that had a chance to make some noise come tournament time. And he was a crucial part of that team too.
No, absolutely. I mean, a super senior, and how cool would that be? Like we talked about, it's been at least a decade, if I remember right, since Wake Forest has been in the tournament. To be right there from the city, be from Winston-Salem, and to lead your school back to the NCAA tournament, bro, that's got to be a crazy feeling.
Absolutely. I mean, we should have probably asked him if he grew up a Wake Forest fan. But like you said, just even being in your home city, that's everybody's dream, I think, growing up. And so with the chance to live that out and a chance to just live out your college basketball and, eventually NBA dreams too, that's awesome.
Yeah, and I have no doubt, like I said, that this kid's going to, achieve everything that he wants to. But we got background noise here. Apologize about that. Somebody's listening to our show in the background. But before we get out of here, though, Phil, tonight, we've got another big interview that I'll play next week on episode 114. Let the people know who we got as a special guest coming on tomorrow, because we've got a lot of guests coming back to back here. Yeah, man, we got a couple big weeks ahead for you guys. We're not going to get too ahead of ourselves dropping names yet, but tomorrow we're going to be having Rakeese Passmore on, 4-star recruit, number 61 in the country on Rivals. This kid is just an absolute stud.
superior athlete. I mean, me and Josh were watching the videos before we came on here today, and just dunking on dudes and mean,
Angry
man.
dunking.
I mean,
just angry.
Yeah, just mean. So we got to ask him about that tomorrow. But I'm super excited about that. He's got a bunch of Power 5 schools in on him already. Offers from Tennessee, NC State,
Murray,
Ole Miss. Ole Miss, Texas A&M. Yeah, he's got a bunch of Power 5 offers. He's got more coming. Like he's a rising recruit too. This kid wouldn't surprise me to see him in the top, 30, top 25 by the end of his junior season, because he is only a 2024 recruit.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, he's number 61 in the nation already right now. He puts together a good junior year in high school, and more importantly, has a great summer going into a senior year for AAU. He could easily be a top 25 and move from that 4-star to 5-star ranking. And it'll be fun to get to pick his brain a little bit. He'll be the youngest guest we've had on, which is cool too, to kind of get that mindset. So looking forward to talking to Rakis tomorrow. It'll be our first huge recruit that we'll get to pick their brain from. But man, we got to shout out Williamson again. That was tremendous. Hey, he did say that Tyree Appleby was his roommate and that was upstairs. Man, we should have been like, hey, get Tyree to come downstairs, bro.
Yeah, man, that kind of caught me off guard too, because me and you before the show we were talking like, man, I wonder if they're gonna have that chemistry going forward with, because Tyree's just transferring in, and he was like, oh yeah, man, we're good, we're bros already.
I know, which is good, because if those two are going to already bond now, a couple months from now when the season starts, you got to think of what that relationship's going to be like, and we know as well as anybody, if you're friends with somebody, it's way easier to pass them the ball and want them to see do good on the court. So
absolutely.
Keep an eye out on Wake Forest this year. I'm excited to cover them throughout the entire year. Hopefully we can have Daivien back on and maybe get Tyree as well, would be awesome. But wraps up episode 113. I know this was kind of a shorter one than we normally do, but it was for a special occasion. Again, guys, if you're in the central Indiana area, stop by downtown Edinburgh, Indiana, visit our sponsors, Beauty to Beast Nutrition. Tell them ECB sent you. 10% off your entire purchase. They do have online orders if you want to order some of the shakes and protein drinks and the teas. They will ship them to you. The link will be in the Facebook group. But wrapping up episode 113 for Phil, I'm Josh. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and we'll catch you next week for episode 114. Until then, stay safe. Have a good evening.